Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building. Let's get into the situation and talk about Bobby Brown Jr. Rest in peace, rest in power. We send our condolences to your family, to Bobby Brown Jr.'s family, to his mother, to Bobby Brown, and to their siblings too as well. Because this is a tragic situation. This is very tragic. It's very sad because this young man, Bobby Brown Jr., was only 28 years old, and you would think he would survive any type of flu-like symptoms or even COVID too as well. But this is really sad. Bobby Brown and his attorney spoke to TMZ and other media sites, and they relayed this information that Bobby Brown Jr. was not feeling well in the days leading up to his death, and he was experiencing flu-like symptoms, according to the family. Now, this is a crazy situation, so I'm assuming that the family talked to Bobby Brown Jr. and he let them know that he was feeling sick, he wasn't feeling well, and people believe that maybe it was the flu or flu-like symptoms, because this is what the attorney and Bobby Brown has told to the media sites. And it's just very tragic because you think someone that's 28 years old will be able to fight off the flu. Like, their immune system cannot be that much compromised at all. You think they will be able to get through it. Somebody will be there giving them some tea, some soup, some crackers, some vitamins, something, and someone will be watching over him. Even though he is 28 years old, you would think that somebody would be there. So did Bobby Brown Jr. live alone because he was found deceased? He was found departed from this earth on Wednesday in his LA home, and the cops said that they don't believe that there was any foul play whatsoever. And you can't really believe what the cops say, because they don't really care like that. They're not doctors. It's just really a crazy situation. But the cops told TMZ and other media sources that it does not seem like there was foul play involved, and they're not going to tell us the information straight right away either. But a source connected to the family, to Bobby Brown Jr., did say that they believe that Bobby Brown Jr. did not have COVID. So a source close to Bobby Brown Jr. has said that they don't believe that Bobby Brown Jr. had COVID. So I guess when they do the autopsy, and they will find out more information about Bobby Brown Jr. Maybe the family already knows too. But to be 28 years old and your immune system can't defend off of any sickness or ailments or diseases, it's pretty much crazy, unless he had some type of condition that led him to be vulnerable and passing away. And it's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense. So are we going to say, or is the media going to say that, Bobby Brown Jr., he had flu and he had COVID, and so therefore his body was not able to fight off these diseases and these ailments? It doesn't really make sense, because he's 28 years old, unless he had some other condition. That's all I'm saying. If he had some other condition, you would think that the family or people close to Bobby Brown Jr. would be there by his side. So I'm assuming that he did not have any underlying condition, because if he did, you would think that the family will be there. Somebody will be there watching over him. And that goes for anybody's family. This is really, a tragic situation. Bobby Brown has lost 2 children. He has 7 children, and now he only has 5. That is really, really crazy. They need the armor of God around them. From this moment forward, I believe Bobby Brown should be watching over each and every one of his kids, whether they are adults or not. If he got to hire somebody to keep track and trace of his children to find out what's going on with them and what's happening, that is something that should happen. I believe Bobby Brown and all his children's mother, they need to get together and talk how we're going to protect the 5 kids that are still breathing, the 5 kids that are still on earth, because it's something that's very devastating that is hitting Bobby Brown's family, and they need to react to the situation. React quick, fast, in a hurry, so there's not another devastating situation of losing another child, because this is deep. This hurts. This is like something that is unthinkable too. 28 years old, Bobby Brown, eldest. Like, this is really crazy. And also, Bobby Brown tells TMZ, please keep my family in your prayers at this time. Losing my son at this point in our lives has devastated my family. There are no words to explain the pain. I know it ain't no words to explain this pain, because this is just really, devastating. Devastating to the max. Like, how is this could be? How could this happen? And then also having Bobby Brown Jr. at home, departed from this earth by himself, laying on the floor. Like, that is crazy. Like, nobody was there to resuscitate him. Nobody was there to do CPR. Nobody was there to call 911. Like, what's going on? Like, it really does sound suspicious. But at this point, the Brown family and his attorneys are saying that they don't believe there's anything suspicious at all. And the Brown family says that they will let authorities investigate this situation, and they asking for the public for prayers at this time. Bobby Brown says his son's death has devastated the family, and there's no words to explain the pain. I was like, oh man, there ain't no words to explain the pain, but now you have to be proactive and protect the rest of your children. Law enforcement sources tells us no drugs were found at the scene, and they are doing a toxicology test too. We are told there was no signs of foul play. That's what the family is saying. This is really this is really a sad situation. And, how could it have been prevented? Because, according to what we know right now, is how this can be prevented will help other families too as well. This is really just devastating and sad and heartbreaking. I can't even understand or fathom the pain that the Brown family is going through. And to have a son, 28 years old, your firstborn, depart from this earth, that is something that is very difficult to get past and get over, because that's your firstborn, that's your first child. That was the first, life-changing experience that you can ever feel. You can have $1 million, you can have a record deal, but having your first son, your first child, depart from this earth and being alone by himself, and we don't know how long he was laying in his LA apartment by himself. Nobody, checked up on him. Nobody was calling. It's just really heartbreaking. It's just really sad, because this is a young man that had a career in music, a rapper, an artist, and he was loved by his siblings and his father and his mother too. And the public is very devastated as well, because it's a pain that you can't even fathom. It's a pain that you can't even understand unless you walked a mile in his shoes, unless you had 2 children depart from this earth or 1 child depart from this earth. How can you move forward with? You have to get the answers. So I'm encouraging the Bobby Brown family. Bobby Brown, please do some investigation. Please get another autopsy report. Please just hire a private investigator, hire somebody to make sure there was no foul play, because there have been many signs and cases where people are using COVID as a factor in saying that someone passed this way and they passed from COVID, but they really passed another way. So please, Bobby Brown, I know this is hard. I know this is difficult, and it's something no one wants to deal with, but you got to get the truth out. You got to find the truth of what really happened to your son. And if it was COVID, if it was the flu, if he was just ill, if he had any underlying illness, please do your investigation. Please hire people to find out exactly what happened to your son. Whew. I mean, this is, God bless the Bobby Brown family. God bless them. God bless them, and please protect their family. Please protect the children. Please protect them, Bobby. The children need you. Your family needs you, Bobby. Your other side of the family needs you. Your children's mothers, they need you. Your other kids need you. I really hope you try another way and keeping tabs on your children, because this just ain't right. This just doesn't sound right. It don't look right. It just doesn't make any sense at all. That did he live alone in LA? How can he afford the home in LA? Did he have any roommates? They didn't know what was going on. You know, they didn't say that he was found in his bedroom. It almost seems like he was found in the living area, the dining room area, or the living room area, and no one knew what happened. So he just laid there by himself. There has to be some investigation done. I know the police is saying there's no foul play, but hopefully they get the autopsy report and the toxicology report, and also have someone else with the knowledge to, you know, decipher the autopsy report and the toxicology report too. And there may be some things that were going on with Bobby Brown Jr. that only the family knows about, and the public is not going to be, you know, aware of them situation, because, you know, it's private information, it's personal information, it's HIPAA, you know. And you guys tell me what you think. Peace, one love.